whatever you gotta say about the US, I freaking love our anthem. I think it's beautiful. It's adapted from a poem written by a guy who was imprisoned by the British, and he was like in one of their ships watching the rest of the battle from the ship where he was being held prisoner, and he could like see whether the flag was still waving. He was like, is there still an American flag waving during the revolution, right? So like they're trying to establish this country, and he's like, I think that like just barely by the rockets going off, right? By the gunfire, I can see by the cannon fire, I can see our flag still waving. And I actually think that that's kind of awesome, honestly. Oh, it wasn't. It was the War of 1812. LOL. I don't know, man. Clearly, I don't know nothing. Actually, it was the War of 1812. Dude, I don't know anything about the War of 1812. There's like a whole video about how no one knows about the War of 1812. I want you to know, I got a 5 in AP US history. I got a 5 in AP US history. I also got a 5 in AP European history. I don't know, frick. Someone recently was like, Ellie, are you a history enjoyer? And I was like, no, I'm not. I am the opposite of that. I am a history endurer.
We endure history here.
Yeah, history happens to us, man. Who the frick is enjoying history? The Brits burned down the White House? Man, I didn't know they went crazy like that.
Wait, they did?
I didn't know they partied that hard. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I believe everything chat tells me, I guess.
Oh, nah.
How am I getting 5s? Bro, I got a lot of 5s. I just recently had to list out all of the 5s that I got for my grad school application, because like if you're like working in the industry and you already graduated from college, no one cares what you got on your AP tests. No one cares. But if you're applying for grad school, suddenly people care what you got on your AP tests again, and that's like been very validating for me. What's the grade scale? 5 is the highest score you can get on AP tests. Yeah, AP tests are this weird thing. They're mostly American, although you can find them in other places. They're like the American equivalent of IB, if you guys know what IB, International Baccalaureate, is. IB is available in some places in the US, but it's fairly rare. Yeah, grad schools apparently care about AP tests. Who knew, right? Who knew? It's apparently more of a thing for like if you're applying from the US to somewhere that has more standardized grades, right? Because they want to know how I did in high school, but high schools in the US are so non-standard, they don't care. So they want to know how you did on IB and AP tests. So IB is pretty rare in the States, basically doesn't exist. So what we have is AP. I don't know what AP stands for, dude. But yeah.
Academic proceedings?
Academic proceedings. Advanced placement! There you go! Yeah, and it's like college classes you can take in high school, and then you take a big test, and there's like, and it's standardized, and then if depending on how you do on that test, on a scale of 1 to 5, it might be 0 to 5, I don't know, I think it's 1 to 5, then you can skip college classes. And I took like a weird number of AP tests because I didn't want to have to eat lunch in the cafeteria because I had nowhere to sit. So, which was entirely self-inflicted, by the way. Everyone was very nice. I was just scared of them. So, instead, I would go to the study sessions for the AP exams in the library. How many AP tests did I graduated with 11 APs. Actually, I graduated with 12, but one I got a 2 on, so I don't count that. I wrote the least coherent sentence for AP Global Pol because I was like, I generally keep up with things. I know what's going on in the world. I can take global politics. What I did not realize is that AP Global Pol is like all about 5 specific countries, and you have to be like real in depth about them. I wrote like the least coherent sentence about Iran anyone has ever written, and I vaguely know Iran's history. It was just like, what do you think about the change from this ruler to this ruler? And I was like, bro, that's not even contemporary. I don't know. Yeah, so that one I got a 2 on, but the others I got 1, 4, and the rest were 5s.